Hi everyone, Jessie here today with you to film a fundamentals class. So we're going to focus on some nice basic movements that you're probably fairly familiar with. We're going to slip in a few little dynamic movements to get a bit of blood flow happening and some bigger movements happening through class. So if you're feeling a little bit stiff or you want a bit more movement happening, they'll be perfect for you. I've got Ree with me today and she is going to help me with some of the modified movements through the class, and I'll be able to use her body to sort of show you where we should be with our positioning, our hips and our shoulders and things like that through some of the different movements as well. So let's get started. We're going to come to the end of our mat. Start with a little warm up here. We're going to raise our hands all the way up to the sky with a deep breath in, hands into prayer and coming down through heart center. Good. A couple more like this, reaching up. Good, let's go one more here. Taking it all the way to the sky. This time we're going to bring the hands together, drawing down through chest. We're going to keep our chin down, reach those fingers all the way to the floor. Taking our palms to the floor, bending through those legs, letting that head drop. Finding that stretch through the back of your legs and gently rolling up. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Deep breath in at the top. Hands into prayer. Draw down through heart center. Dive the hands down. And rolling up. Good. One more time. Hands to the sky. Down through heart center. Dive the fingers down. Bending through the knees, let everything hang. And rolling gently all the way up. Good, rolling through those shoulders. Beautiful, taking a little step forward, coming towards your support. We're going to take our hands down, coming into a nice little L shape here. So you want to have your feet directly underneath your hips, about hip width apart as well. You're going to have your ears about level with your biceps here and just reach those fingertips nice and long. So you want to create a nice long line through your back, sending those hips back. You can bend through the knees if you need to, if you're finding it's a bit strong through the back of your legs. Just reaching through. And then release here. We'll take a deep breath in, raising up through cat. And exhale through cow. So raising the shoulder blades up towards the sky, tucking the pelvis under. Just bending and flexing through the spine. Just wherever it allows you to go. And the last one here. Coming back to that neutral spine, holding here. Sending those hips back towards the back of the room, reaching along through that body. We're going to take our right hand and take it all the way up towards the sky. Reaching here. We're going to bend through those legs and then reach back through. So as we're reaching up, you can feel a stretch through your hips, opening through your chest, reaching through. Good. Let's go two more here, reach. Final one. Take that hand all the way back down to the support, finding that nice flat back, reaching again, drawing the belly button up towards your spine. And then taking that left hand up towards the sky, bending through those legs, reaching through. Feeling the stretch through those hips. Good. Connect the breath. Inhale as you take that hand to the sky. Exhale, thread through. Final one. And then taking that hand all the way back to the support. Good work. Final stretch here, we're going to arch up through cat, rolling up toward our support, stepping forward just a little tiny bit. We're going to take that right leg, lift it up and send it back into a nice little pony swing. You can bring it up towards your chest if that feels comfortable for you, or you can just bring it in towards your support. It's a nice big dynamic movement here. Good. Two more here. Last one. Taking that knee down, changing sides, left knee to chest, swinging back. Good. Nice and strong through that supporting leg. Final two. The last one. Hold it here. Take that right leg stepping out into wide second. Take the hands to the hips. We're going to drop down and lift. So remembering to tuck that pelvis under and sliding our back nice and straight down a wall. Knees taking it, going out over our toes here. We don't have to go low. We're just warming up through hip flexors, thighs and glutes. Good. Let's go two more here. Last one, hold it here. We're going to take the right leg over, coming into a curtsy lunge, or curtsy plie rather, back out to wide second and down. Good, nice dynamic movement here. Watch your balance. We're going to go for two. Final one, taking it across to the other side. So plie down, stepping across. Good. Let's go for two. Final one. Hold it here. Step that left leg across the right, turning to face your support. Taking a nice deep breath in. We're going to fold forward. One more time. Hands to the floor. This time we're going to walk those hands forward, coming in to a plank position. Hands directly underneath your shoulders. Hold the plank here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tap those knees down to the floor and lift. The option is to stay on the floor with those knees, just lifting through a single knee if you prefer. Little warm up through the core. Let's go 4. Final 2. Last one. Take the knees down to the floor if they're not already there. We're going to sit back through child's pose. Drop the chest down towards the floor, reach fingertips nice and long. Allow the hips to sink down into your heels. Staying here, we'll walk the hands across to the right hand side. Crossing your left over right, pulling back through your left hip, feeling a beautiful stretch down through side body. And then taking the hands across the center and over to the left hand side, crossing your right over left, pulling back through side body here. Back through center, rolling up through cat, nice arch through that spine, and then back out to neutral 4-point kneel. We're going to curl those toes under, lifting the knees off the mat, sit back through those hips, and reach forward into a plank. Sitting back and power forward. Option to take those knees to the floor as you sit back if you prefer. Final 2. Last one. Hold it here in plank. Take the hips all the way up to the sky. Drop the head down, little pedal through those feet. You can bring the feet in a little closer if you have them out wide. Pedaling down, dropping the chest toward your thighs, keeping those hips lifted, feeling a beautiful stretch through your hamstrings and your calf muscles here. Final 4, 3, 2, last one. Hold it here. Rock forward to high plank. We're going to take our left leg into a bent position, coming down onto the hips, keeping our top leg nice and long, taking ourselves all the way down to the floor. So option here is to stay on your elbow, or you can come all the way down to the floor. And we're going to draw the knees in together and bring our shins in line with the mat here. So we're going to go into some glute work here. So we're taking our supporting hand, placing it on the floor in front. If you're on your elbow, making sure that the elbow is directly underneath your shoulder. Hips are going to be nice and stacked here. We don't want to roll forward and we don't want to roll back. We're going to clip the heels together and just start with a little lift and lower through our glutes. So you'll be feeling it through the side glute here. So we'll just go over and have a little look at Ree's form here. So she's up on her elbow, using her right hand to support on the mat. Her hips are stacked, so she's not leaning forward and she's not falling back towards me. And her feet are clipped nice and close together. She's a little pause at the top, so she's using those glutes to hold that lift before she closes back down again. Good. The next move from here we're going to do is stay lifted. So hold the lift, and from the knee and towards the foot, we're going to extend that leg nice and long and draw it back down again. Good. So she's staying lifted with that knee. We're not closing. And as she extends that leg long, she's squeezing through her thigh. And she's using her inner thigh and her glute to keep that knee lifted. Beautiful. So her hips are staying stacked. She's not rolling out. Good. We're going to go 2 more here, reach and return. Final one. Hold it here, then take that knee down all the way. Good. Setting that leg nice and long. We're going to reach from one end of the mat to the other. Our hips stay nice and stacked. There's a nice line between our shoulder, hip, and our heel pointing through our toe. We're going to reach forward, flex the foot, and sweep it all the way back. Point the toe, sweep forward. So we're finishing here just in line with this bottom knee. And as we come back, we're pressing behind the mat, keeping those hips stacked. There's no movement through the hips here. They're just pivoting through this glute. Good. Something else to think about while we're here is lifting up through the obliques. So you don't want to sag into your shoulder. You stay lifted up. Good, we're going to go 2 more here. Draw it forward, sweep it back. Hold it here. Point the toe, we're going to draw that knee in towards the bottom knee and then flex the foot, press back. Draw it in with a pointed toe and press back. So once again, the hips are still staying stacked. We're squeezing through the glute as we press that heel back. Staying lifted through the obliques here. So everything stays switched on. 2 more here. Last one, press. And hold it here. Keep that toe pointed. We're going to bring that knee all the way back and drop that knee down to the floor. So we're going to keep that foot connected to the floor. And we're actually going to roll this hip forward now. So we're going to roll it forward towards the floor. Staying here, keeping the toe connected to the floor. It's a lift and lower through that side glute. So the difference here is Ree's torso is going to be a little more twisted toward the floor. That's it. So the hip rolls right forward and she's lifting through the knee here. So the toe stays connected. So it's a different feeling through that glute. Can you feel that, Ree, through your glutes? Yeah. So the more you twist forward in this particular movement, the more you're going to feel it through the glutes here. So final 2. And last one. Good. We're going to roll forward, bring that knee forward, rolling all the way around onto our 4-point knee. Sitting back through child's pose for a moment, stretching through those glutes. Allow the chest to drop. You might like to rock side to side if that feels nice for you. Good. We're going to come into a little dynamic movement here before we pop back down to the other side for those glutes. So rolling up into our 4-point kneel. We're going to step forward between our hands with our left foot. So stepping forward, coming into a half kneel, curling that back toe under. I want you to push up through, through a little lunge, working through that left glute and heel. So pushing all the way up. Stepping forward, either tapping towards your ankle or lifting the knee entirely up toward the sky. Stepping all the way back, lowering down. Hands come to the floor and sending that right leg back with a nice press. Let's go again, drawing it in. Up through lunge. Step forward into a lift or a tap. Sending it all the way back. Lower down, hands to the floor. Reach. One more time, sitting forward. Lifting through the lunge. Stepping up with that leg. All the way back down. Hands come to the floor and reach back. Good. Hold it here. Curl both toes under, lifting up through down dog. A little pedal of those feet. Good, keeping the hips nice and lifted. Dropping that chest down, feeling a stretch through your back. Final 4, 3, 2, the last one, hold it here. Rock forward to high plank. We're gonna hold the plank here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step forward with your left foot between your hands. Hold that lunge position here, right hand to the floor. Lifting up with your left, opening through the chest. Lifting through that left glute, feeling a nice stretch here. Taking that hand down to the inside of your front foot. Back foot turns to a 45-degree angle, and we're going to straighten through that front leg. Open through your chest. Good, really nice stretches here for your hamstrings and chest. Hold it here to the floor. And stay low, walk those hands around through wide second. Stay here in the middle, find a little stretch down through the middle here. Just let your head hang. And then we're going to walk the hands across to the right hand side. So stay straight with that front leg. Hand comes to the inside. Opening up through that right hand. And all the way down to the floor. Hands either side of that front foot, coming into that lunge position. Lifting through that right glute now. Left hand to the floor and opening up through your right hand. And all the way back down to the floor, stepping back into our plank. We're going to hold it here. This time we're going to protract through those shoulders. So really lift up through shoulders, squeezing through core and glutes. If you need to hop down to your knees, that's totally fine. We're going to stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release through the shoulders. Bend that right leg in, coming into side lying on the other side. So taking ourselves back down to the floor, under your, on your arm or under your elbow, bringing those knees stuck together, making sure that our shins are in line with the mat here, finding that support through that left hand this time, clipping those heels together, stacked through the hips, lifting through the obliques, starting with that lift and lower. Good. So it doesn't matter how wide the knee goes, it's about focusing on that mind-muscle connection through your glute here. Little pause at the top is always king, and you'll start to feel that activating really quickly here. So keeping those hips stacked is also important, and you'll start to feel that glute activation a lot quicker than if you're rocking through those hips. Good. Staying lifted through the obliques, not sinking into the shoulder. 2 more here, we're going to stay open. Last one, hold it here. Extend from the knee to the toe. Tap and down, lift. Good. So being conscious of that core. Good work. We're going to go for 4 here. Really squeeze through that thigh. Final 2. Last one. And taking that knee all the way down. Good. Stretching nice and long, creating that long line from shoulder, hip to heel, pointing the toe. We're going to sweep forward, finishing where the knee is, flexing that foot and coming behind the mat. Point the toe, sweep forward. Good. So we're keeping the hips still. We're lifting through the obliques. And imagining that you're sliding your foot across the tabletop. So it doesn't lift and lower, it just glides across. Good. Working through the glutes here. Squeeze, point the toe, 4 more here. Taking it back with a flexed foot. Good. Reach and squeeze, 2 more here. Stretch it forward. Final 1. Good, point the toe, bring that knee in. We're going to take it down to the floor behind us, keeping that foot connected. I want you to tilt those hips forward, rotate that torso down towards the floor. Keep that foot connected, a little lift and lower. So this is the one time that we do roll those hips forward, thinking about twisting through that torso. Toes connected, squeeze and hold through that glute. Good. We're finishing here in 6. Final 4. 2. And last one. All the way to the floor. We're going to roll over into that 4-point heel. Sit back through child's pose. Drop that chest to the floor. You might like to take those feet or knees rather nice and wide. Gentle rock from side to side. Release through those glutes. And back through center, coming up into that 4-point kneel. We're going to go back into that dynamic movement. So this time we're going to take our right foot forward between our hands, curl that left foot under. We're going to push up through that right glute into a lunge position. Step forward, knee comes up, all the way behind, lowering down, hands to the floor, and extend that right leg back. Good. So we're coming forward. If you find this difficult to get through this lunge, you can step forward, stay low, tap it back, low down, reaching forward. Good, and keeping our hips nice and stacked. We don't want to move through the hips from side to side. We want to keep them nice and parallel to the floor. Good. That's it, stepping down lower, hinging forward, stepping back, keeping our hips stacked and reach. Good, and then coming back up to our standing position. And holding here, stepping all the way back, turning to find your support. A little pedal through those feet and finding yourself now in first position, one hand to the support. Beautiful work. So we're going to warm up through our thighs for a little bit, and then we'll grab hold of some hand weights to come into some work through our arms as well. So taking our feet into first position. So heels are together, toes are out like a little slice of pizza in between our feet. Our knees are softly bent and they're aiming out towards those toes. So I want you to tuck that pelvis under. Good. That's it. So from here, we're going to raise up onto our toes. So coming all the way up. Yep. No, we're going to bring our heels apart as we rise up and back down. Good. So we're keeping that pelvis tucked under. So I'll turn side on so that you can see. So we don't want this, we don't want that pelvis out, we want it tucked under so it's nice and flat. And as we lift up, we're going to keep that position through the pelvis so it's not going to come back out. Good. So, lifting up, squeeze through those heels, lower back down. You can take both hands to your hips if you like, or you can use your support if that's necessary. We're going to go 2 more like this. Final one. Taking the heels up to the top, we're going to hold them here. Coming down through plie, so knees out to the side, lower the hips to the heels to the floor, straightening through those legs. Lifting up, knees come out, lower the heels down and lift. Good. 2 more here, lift up, knees come out, keep them open, down, lift, final one. Good. And all the way. We're going to reverse that. So keep taking our heels up. Sorry, down. Reversing that. Knees are out. Lifting the heels to the bottom and pressing all the way to the sky. Down. Lower through plie. Knees are out. Lift the heels and up. 2 more here. Down. Lift. Push up. Lower. Final time. Down. And to the floor. Good work. So grabbing hold of hand weights if you'd like. I'm having the 1 kilo ones today. Ree's got a couple of little baby ones, so she's taking the modified version. Welcome to do this with no weights at all. It's completely fine. So we're staying in this first position option to be on your flat foot or to come up onto your heels. This time we're going to press the heels together and keep them connected. Hands are going to come out in front. We're just going to lower down and up through our plie, keeping our hands just down by our hips for now. Getting a feel of the movement through plie. So we're making sure that that pelvis is tucked under, we're not reaching out with our bottom. Down and up. Good. As we start to plie, we're going to float those hands up to our chest height. So we're going to imagine we're holding a big beach ball here. So Ree's elbows are out nice and wide. It's like that big beach ball in the center. Her hands are only lightly touching, so she's actually holding the weight through individual arms. She's not holding the weights together to support herself, and she's lifting up through her shoulders and her lats here as well to keep those arms lifted up. Elbows are around shoulder height. Good. We're going to start to move through those arms now. So this is the position that we're going to end up in. Good. We're going to reach to the top as we come out of plie and all the way down. So as we come up, we don't want to take them too far back. We want to finish just where we can sort of see those weights in our peripheral vision. So all the work's happening through the shoulders. Good work. Nice. That's it. So Ree's taken her feet flat to the floor, which is totally fine. You may find that there's a little less range of movement coming down through that plie, and that's totally fine. Just go to where your body will allow you to go. I've got it all mixed up. We're going to hold it here in the center. Hold that plie. Tuck that pelvis under. We're going to open and close through the arms. So our elbows are staying the same height as our shoulders. We're not dropping down. We're squeezing through our shoulder blades as we open and close. Good. 4 more like this. It gets quite strong through shoulders. Let's go for 3. 2. We're going to add that plie back in. Final 1. And coming all the way up, down. Good. So keep that beach ball in our arms. 4 more here. 3, 2. Last one, we're going to go into a combo move. So we're going to go out and up, staying on the same side. Sorry, Ree. Normally I change. This is our brain training part of class. Good. Let's go for 4. Keep those knees out wide. Tuck the pelvis under. Final 2. Last one. Changing sides. Lift and lower. Good. Coming back to the center to meet. For 4. 3, 2, last one, hold it here, coming all the way down, little pedal through those feet. Good, so a little bit more work through our bottom half here. We're going to come back into our first position with our feet, hands are going to come back down towards our hips. We're going to lower down, so tuck that pelvis under, lower down through plie. Good, we're going to hold it here, little pulses down. So when we pulse, there's no bounce through the movement. It's a lower down and a lift. Lower down and a lift. You notice Ree's legs are not fully straight, so she's staying sort of halfway down through that movement. Alrighty, hands down low, halfway down, little lift, little lower, little lift and lower. So really focusing here on that pelvis being tucked under. You should feel a fair bit of tension through those glutes. Good. We're going to float those hands back up to chest height, holding them here. Final 2. Last one, stay low. So hold it here, press the knees back. So we're staying still, pelvis tucked under. Just a little open and close of the knees. So the knees are pressing back, returning, pressing back, returning. So you really feel that through the inner thigh and through the glutes as you open and close. Good. We're finishing here for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here, come all the way out. A little pedal through those feet, taking a nice big wide step out to wide second. Hands come to hips. We're going to lower down through our plie and lift. Good. So same thing with the plie here, the wide second. We're going to have our feet facing out towards the sides of the room. Knees are going to track over about your middle toe, or your second toe rather. And our pelvis is tucked under, so still none of this. We're tucking it under, sliding that back down a wall. Thinking about opening out through those knees and dropping the sit bones down toward the floor. Good. Beautiful. Ree's got her chest open nice and wide. Really focusing on those legs as we come down and up. Good. We're going to add in the arms. So float the arms up into a nice W shape here. As we come down, we're going to squeeze and open as we come out of plie. Good. So our elbows are coming behind our rib cage just a little bit, really squeezing through our upper back as well. Good. Palms to the ceiling, we're going to reach as we come out of plie. Draw those elbows down. So imagining we're drawing those elbows through some form of resistance as we come down and as we reach them long. Good. 2 more here. And we're going to add a rotation of the palms at the top toward the back of the room. So rotate, draw back down. Reach and rotate. Good. So with this movement, you'll see the rotation's happening through this part of Ree's arm. She's drawing the shoulders in, rotating here. So she's reaching long to the sides of the room, drawing in, and then reaching long again. Good. So you can see that this movement will really work well, whether you have weights in your hands or not. Good. Stretch. Good. 2 more here. We're going to hold the plie nice and low. Draw it in, stay here. We're going to extend the arms, palms behind, little press back. So arms are nice and long. We're reaching for the sides of the room. Pinky fingers facing toward the sky. Chest is open. Press back through the rear shoulders here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. Lift up. Little lift up. Good. Coming into a nice dynamic movement here to stretch out in just a moment for 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. Draw those elbows in. Stepping into that plie, lift. And back through our wide second. Good. So nice and slow here, but making the movements big. Good. Reach to the sky. Option is to keep your hands nice and still if you'd like, just to focus on those legs. Good. Final 2. And last one, hold it here. Good. We're going to hinge forward from the hips. So keeping our back nice and straight, tummy pulled in, we're just going to take a nice hinge forward, drawing the hands down towards the floor, letting that head hang. Feeling a really nice stretch up the back of your legs. You can keep your hands in the center or you can take them around behind your ankles. Just a little stretch through your upper body as well here. So I want you to try and keep your back nice and straight. So not rounding through your back. So just going to wherever is comfortable, where you're able to keep that nice straight back here. Taking a little breath, we're going to walk our hands across to the left-hand side. Just aiming to drop that nose down towards your knee. And then walking softly back through center, across to the right. Back through center. Little stretch here with a flat back. Grab hold of those weights. We're going to bend through those knees this time and slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, straightening through the legs as we come up. Rolling through those shoulders. Good. We're going to take our hands in front into a narrow bicep curl, coming back into that plie, lifting the weights to shoulders as we plie down. So same thing, we're tucking that pelvis under, knees are tracking over toes here. The difference here is Ree's elbows are tucked in nice and close to her side. So as she's lifting up with those arms, her elbows aren't coming out behind. Good. So that'll be the same position for our elbows when we're coming into a tricep press, or extension rather, which is a little bit further along. Keeping those elbows clicked in nice and close by your sides. Good. So same thing, thinking about drawing the weights up through some form of resistance here, really working through the bicep as you lift and lower, a little squeeze through tricep as you come back down. Checking in again with that pelvis, is it tucked under? Good. 2 more here. We're going to keep the hands up towards our shoulders. Final one. Hold it here. Keep the hands here. Lift the elbows up. So it's a nice right angle between your through your arms. A little lift and lower. Lift and lower. So keep those arms framing your face. Nice and low through plie, keeping that pelvis tucked under. We're lifting through the shoulders here as well. Good, so we're returning to that, that right angle. So a little lift and lower. Perfect. Good. We're gonna go 2 more here. The last one, hold it here. Open those arms nice and wide. Draw back. We're gonna aim to touch the weights together. Open. Aim to touch those weights together. Good. So keeping those elbows at shoulder height. Squeeze. And open. We're going to add on. So we're going to go back into using those legs. As we open up, we're going to press forward, or up, sorry, with the weights, and out of that plie down and touch. A little combo move here. Press up and draw in. 4 of these. Good. 3. Press up. Final 2, keep those shoulders away from your ears. Last one, push. And all the way down. And take those weights down towards your hips. We're going to come out of plie into that curtsy. Little bend through those elbows. Good. Final 2. Last one. And hold it here. We're going to draw those feet back into first position. We're going to hinge forward from the hips, keeping those elbows locked in, starting to press back through our triceps. So same position here with those elbows that I said before, locked in. And we're just squeezing through the back of the arms here as we extend. So if you find tilting forward is too much on your lower back, feel free to just sit up a little taller and press those triceps back. So the more you hinge forward, the more challenging it's going to be on your core, so and your back too, so make sure your core is engaged so that your back doesn't take the pressure. Good. Squeeze, draw up. We're going to go for 2. Last one. This time we're going to take those hands back, hold them here, little lifts up. So keeping those arms nice and straight, lifting through the back of the arm. So aiming to take those little pinky fingers up toward the sky. Little squeeze. Good. 4 more here. 3, 2, 1. We're going to hold them lifted. Draw those hands in and extend. So it's a little bend through the elbows and reach those hands long. Bend and reach. Good. That's it. Good. Nice shaking happening here. This is what we want to have. Good. We're going to go 2 more here. Bend, reach. Bend, reach, and hold it here. Roll through those shoulders. Beautiful work. Take a deep breath in. Hands to the sky. Exhale, folding forward. Taking those weights to the floor, coming to parallel with those feet and just dropping your chest down towards the floor. Good. Rolling all the way up. Good work, turning now to face your support. You take a little step towards it and coming in to the side, back into first position with those feet. We're going to work on our inner thighs here. So we're going to step forward with that right foot rather, having a little turn out. So we want to have the knee and the ankle facing the ceiling as best we can. So this is straight on, and we want to turn it out. So a little bend through that supporting leg. We're going into a lift and a lower. Good. So you don't have to lift high through this lift. Often you'll feel it through your hip flexors. So if you need to, you can keep it nice and low to the floor. Good. Beautiful work. So Ree's hips are nice and still. She's not leaning into one side. And she's really working through that inner thigh as she lifts and lowers. Good. 2 more here. We're going to hold the lift at the halfway point. Last one, take it up and hold. Little tiny pulses here. So like in our wide second plie, it's a little lift, a little lower, little lift, little lower. So nice and strong through core here. Keeping those hips facing the center for 2. Last one, hold it here. Draw that foot in towards your knee and extend it long. So just like when we're down on the floor, we're going to squeeze long through those thighs as we extend. The knee stays open, we're not bringing it in or out. It's just from the bottom half of our leg that's working here. Keeping that turn out too, so knees and ankles toward the sky. Final 4, 3, 2, last one, hold it here. We're going to sweep that foot all the way behind and then bend through that leg, coming into an attitude position. Flexing through the foot and press the foot behind. Draw that knee in with a pointed toe, flex the foot behind. Good. So with our attitude position, Ree's knee is out to the side, so it's not straight back, it's out to the side. Lift it out, and she's extending that foot long, drawing back into that lifted position here. So a lot of work's happening through the glutes to stay lifted here, and a lot of work's happening through her supporting leg as well. She's flexing that foot, squeezing and drawing in. Final time, reach, draw in, hold it here, draw that knee down behind that supporting leg, and a lift. So once again, hips stay still, it's a lift through the glute here, into the side glute. Finishing here for 3, 2, really squeeze. Last one, hold it here. Little hold, keep it lifted through those glutes. 3, 2, 1, lower down. A little pedal through those feet. How are we feeling? We'll turn around to face the other side now, quickly finishing on the other side. So coming into first position, this time our left leg is going to stand forward, keeping our knee and ankle to the sky, a little lift and lower. Good. So the weight is in the supporting leg here. Nice. 4 more like this when we're going into those little pulses here. 3, 2, the last one, hold it here, little lift and lower, keeping that turn out, really working hard through the inner thigh here. We've got 4, 3, 2, last one, hold here, draw that foot in towards your knee and extend. So keeping that knee out, opening through the inner thigh here, squeeze that thigh long. Good, we've got 4, 3, 2, final one, sweep it down all the way behind, coming into that attitude position, drawing that knee in, flexing the foot as we press back, pointing as we draw in. So keeping that attitude, good, little bend through that supporting leg, flex the heel. Good, we're going to go 4. Final 2. Last one. Hold that knee here, halfway down behind that supporting leg and lift. Keep those hips still, squeezing through that side glute. 4 here, lift. Final 2. Last one, hold it here. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw it all the way down. Little pedal through those feet. Turning now to face your back to the support. Good. Taking a nice deep breath in toward the sky. Hands to prayer. Draw down through heart center. Diving down toward the floor, bending through those knees. Finding a little forward fold here. Letting that head hang for just a moment. Good. Taking the hands to the floor, you might like to bend and extend through those legs. Just feeling a nice little stretch here. Just to wherever is comfortable for you. And go 4 more here. Final 2. Last one. Hold it here. Keeping a soft bend if that's comfortable for you. Take those hands up to your elbows and let that head hang. You might like to rock gently from side to side here. And coming back through center. Good, we're going to take the hands to the floor and walk them out into our plank position. Good. We're going to hold it here. So we're going to go back into that shoulder protraction. So we're going to reach up through to the sky with those shoulders, a little arch through that back, and hold it here. Good. Now, Rhea, I want you to release through those shoulders and come back into a plank. Drop that bottom down just a little bit here. Draw the tummy into spine and lift up through the shoulders. So you can see how Rhea rounds through those shoulders here and then release. Good. And let's go again. Reaching up. As she does, she's clenching everything, turning her glutes and her core on, releasing down. We're going to go one more time. Reach up, squeeze, and lower down. Good. Drop those knees to the floor and push back through child's pose. Good. So that's what we want to do when we're protracting through those shoulders. Really switch that core on, squeezing everything in, glute thighs, everything works here, okay? Also working through that upper body, a little bit of extra work. Rolling back up into our 4-point kneel. So from here, we're going to come into some knee taps. So you're welcome to stay on your knees and just extend out and change sides. Or you can come up onto your toes, drop those knees down and lift. So really thinking about keeping those hips really solid. So no twisting as you're alternating through your legs. Rhea's hips are nice and straight. And if you're dropping both knees down, we're not dropping to the side or wobbling through the hips, we're dropping down and lift. So we're not even lowering and lifting, lowering through our hips here. Back is nice and straight, it's just a lower of the hips and lift. And you'll really feel this through that core. We're going to go 2 more here. Last one. Knees come all the way to the floor. Sit back through child's pose. Give those wrists a little rotate here. Back down into child's pose. Drop that forehead to the floor. Relax through the chest. And we're going to roll up one more time into that plank position. So coming into 4-point kneel. You can stay on your knees if you prefer. Curling the toes under if you're going to lift up into a full plank. And we're going to protract through those shoulders again. So squeeze and hold. We've got 5. And lower back down through the shoulders. Good, let's go again. Reach up, squeeze everything together. And lower down. Final time. Protract through the shoulders. Squeeze the core. 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Knees to the floor. And sit back. One final movement here before we come into a nice little stretch. Rolling up into our 4-point kneel. This time I want you to hinge those hips forward towards the floor. So we're going to keep a nice straight line between our shoulders and our hips, a nice diagonal shape here. We're going to take a little lift of our right hand, tapping it to our left hip. And down and changing sides. So it's really tough, it doesn't look it, but it is. You want to keep those hips really parallel to the floor. You're trying not to move as you lift and lower. We're really working the core here. So it's quite strong. If you want a little extra, if you think that's not enough, you can try lifting that shoulder, the hand to the shoulder rather, and changing sides. But I want you to keep, if you have any movement through those hips as you lift and lower, go back to tapping on the hip until you have that strength through the core, then reach up for the shoulders here. Good. We're gonna go for 2 each side. Final 2 here. Final 1. Hold it here, all the way back through child's pose. Drop that head down, reach those fingertips nice and long. We're gonna roll all the way up through cat. Draw that left foot forward into pigeon. Sit down through those glutes. Rolling on to that right glute. Bringing that left glute, sorry, right foot forward, changing sides. Pigeon pose on the other leg. And then rolling onto that right glute, drawing that back foot in, coming into a mermaid position here. And we'll finish here with some nice side stretches. And hold it here.